Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing amazing. It was an amazing week. We had a few guests here. We had Daniel, we had Dylan, we had Herman, and today is the best of the week. And I wish I could actually just bring absolutely everything that we had going on this week, but I can't. And I was trying to find a few clips from each one of these amazing people, professionals. Daniel, Dylan, Herman. We went through so much. What I want to promise you, I want to make a big, big promise. I couldn't clip something out of each one of their clips. So, what I would love to share with you is about a 15, 20-minute video. It is the recording from earlier this week with Daniel. Daniel, he used to work at Goldman Sachs. He then switched to Google. Then he lost his job. His boss also lost her job at the same time. And then he was making significantly less money than he used to make. And then we were able to double his compensation again. And he was able to do a whole bunch of stuff in 5 weeks. My big promise to you is that you're going to get tremendous value. I would love to play this for you, and then I would love to come here and tell you exactly how it is that you can do this tangibly, what it is that you can do to take action, to be able to switch jobs if that's what you're looking to do. If you're a senior tech professional in the USA, you want to switch jobs, you still can right now through the holiday season when everybody else thinks that they cannot switch jobs because organizations are not hiring. I can tell you that today and yesterday, we still have people receiving job offers. And in December, it will be the same thing. So I would love to play this for you. I have a meeting in 28 minutes, so I would like to make this very short and stick to the time. And promise you again that if you watch this, you will start to open up your mind and understand how to do things differently, how to think about them differently, and potentially take that first step toward switching jobs with your desired job conditions from the ultimate position of power. We will explain what all this is in just a moment. And I promise you, you will enjoy this. Okay.
I studied computer science in college and statistics. I thought I wanted to do finance. I did a master's degree to go into finance. I was there for over 9 years. And I was thinking, I really miss my days of computer programming. I remembered this class in college where I was like teaching Pac-Man how to play perfectly in an artificial intelligence course, which is now like more relevant than ever.
Back when? How many years ago was that?
This was in 2009. It's either '08 or '09 when I took this class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before anyone was thinking about AI, I mean, the world stage, the regular people were not talking about AI yet.
Right. Obviously, very big in many circles, but no one knew what natural language processing was in like the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
But
what happened? It's 9 years. It took you a while to realize that you were not in the right spot. You went back into then what?
Oh, I went. So I got into. I went to Google. I was on the food team at Google. So if you search restaurants near me, that was the group that I was in. So that was.
Wait. Let me. I want to emphasize this again because every single time that I do this, I cannot stop but think about Daniel, who led this as a data scientist at Google. So you know how all of you here, you're looking for a place to eat, right? And you go on Google Maps or on Google and you say restaurants near me. This was the guy. Wait, that's
I was one of many people working on that, but yeah, I was a data scientist.
So humble. So humble.
Which was really, really fun, right? Like obviously, I mean, I love food. I love to eat, so that's great. Yeah,
I love it. And then wait, what happened after?
Yeah, so actually, I was at Google for about a year and a half, and then I woke up one day, couldn't log in. Checked the New York Times. There's been mass layoffs at Google, and it turns out I was impacted. My boss didn't know, her boss didn't know, but that's the way life goes sometimes, right? So, you just got to think. You never know what's going to happen. You got to be prepared for anything, I guess. So actually, I ended up going to a startup, a video game startup led by Leo Messi. I don't know if you've heard of him, Brian. One of your favorite people of all
I
time.
think I heard of him once or twice.
Yeah, we're making like football, not soccer, football video games, and yeah, that was great. I learned a lot, but I wanted to kind of take on a bigger challenge. I wanted to really get more into like the engineering side of things and less of the analytics side of things. And so now I'm actually at Northwestern Medicine. I'm a machine learning engineer here, and I basically help it's a hospital system. We have lots of different locations. We serve lots of patients in the Chicago area and even internationally, and just trying to help bring machine learning and AI to solutions to the hospital. Yeah, go ahead.
I love what you're doing. You're making a real difference in the world. As you know, I lost my dad, may he rest in peace, due to cancer. And you're working towards finding the discovery, the solution to different diseases, right? So you wanted to find fulfillment. Can you walk us through what you went through to be able to find this career opportunity? What conditions were important to you? What you were able to find or learn along the way? Anything that was relevant to your job switching.
Yeah. Well, obviously, because you were there with me in the trenches, and I'm going to share with everyone. Yeah, but if you asked me, oh, what's like. If you asked me, like, what's your dream job conditions, I could tell you, but I didn't think that was like reasonable to go for.
Why? But, wait. Why?
Yeah. Why? It just seems so like far-fetched. You hear a lot about, oh, it's very difficult to change jobs. The industry is like for example, the tech industry is not in a great place right now. Obviously, lots of mass layoffs. I explained how I was impacted at Google. I mean, I had friends at lots of other very big tech companies also see layoffs happen to people next to them, get laid off themselves. So to think like, oh, I'm gonna like say, I really want great work-life balance. I want to love my job. I want to enjoy my coworkers. I want to work from home. It felt like I couldn't ask for that. It felt like I had to say, well, I'll just take what I can get.
Just be happy to have a job, maybe in these market conditions.
Right.
And then what happened?
Yeah, then I met you.
How did you meet me? Like, I want to know everything you went through, even myself, because sometimes there are just so many details. How did you meet me? And did you stumble upon anything that I posted, someone recommended? What did you go through?
Yeah, I was on LinkedIn a lot because I was looking at just opportunities, and I was also reading a lot about people's experience changing jobs and also just keeping up with my industry. And your post popped up a few times, and I remembered, oh, I like the way this guy talks. I liked what you were saying about, what you said almost sounded too good to be true. I love to use that phrase. So I was like, how is this guy? Is this guy serious? Like, he's helped a lot of people kind of switch jobs, put themselves in a better situation, I think mentally, emotionally. So I reached out. I just reached out, just a cold LinkedIn DM. Hey, Brian, looks like you help people find, new jobs. I'd love to learn from you. How does it work? And I think you responded in about 10 seconds. It was really amazing. And yeah, we exchanged a lot of messages. We got on a phone call, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. The rest is history. Hold on 1 second. So going back to this too good to be true, that you felt that I didn't know that you were feeling that way. About learning our strategy, which we share openly for other people to learn from, and then you went to your father-in-law, Ira. Hey, Ira, he actually watches this, who I had the pleasure to meet at Daniel's wedding. We can get into that in a moment. But Ira, I agreed with Daniel. It sounds too good to be true. It must be too good to be true. No, something like that. What did he say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did he ask? How did you bring this? I mean, you trust him a lot.
So what did you ask him?
I was asking him, like, what do you think? Can this guy help me? He says he can get me a better job for, with better job conditions, doing the kinds of work I want, doing in an industry that I want, making a difference. And he said, yeah, it sounds great. Sounds too good to be true. So it sounds great.
So for about a week, we just kept in touch. I think that we just kept in touch, right? Like every couple of days, just to see that if you were making any progress, right? And I guess after a week, you realized, no, I'm not making any progress, so may as well just give it a shot, something like that. What went through your mind?
I typically don't like to make very quick or rash decisions.
Yeah.
So if I really like something, I think to myself, sleep on it. And if you still want it in a week, maybe that's a better sign. So I couldn't stop thinking about our interaction and just the more time that had passed and our interactions that we had over that week were very just let me know you better. And I realized, oh, I really like this guy. Let's do this. I felt like with you by my side, I couldn't fail. That sounds so corny.
No, I'm going to print it. I'm going to frame it for you. Yeah, one of the things that I've learned about myself over the years, and this I don't want to make it about myself, but I want to share this, is that I'm not here to try to rush people into making any sort of decisions. Like this is a real commitment, right? Like switching jobs. You probably have heard anyone here watching right now, or if you watch this replay later. Switching jobs is a job in itself, or searching for a job is a job in itself. So there has to be a real commitment from both sides. So how can I expect someone to make a rash decision if they're not ready, if they don't know what they're getting themselves into, and so on and so forth. So it does take a bit of time for people to really embrace and go for it. So I'm not here to rush someone. Some people want to go fast, and they're like, no, I know exactly I want to do this, and some people want to go slow. And my job is to really adapt to people's pace, right? Okay, so now, if we can so this was a little bit of context for people to understand who you are, what you were able to accomplish, where you were at before. Now, what did you actually do to be able to, let's call it out, land a ton of interviews. I will let you say all these things, but land a ton of interviews, receive multiple job offers, you're going to share how many, and obtain, finally, which is the most important thing, obtain the job that you wanted, the career opportunity that you wanted with the job conditions that you wanted. So what did you have to do more and more specifically to be able to make that happen? And how long did it take, and so on and so forth?
Yeah. So there's obviously you have to be qualified for these jobs, and that takes a lot. But then there's the act of applying and interviewing itself, which is its own world and its own skill, as you know, because you're the one who taught me all this. And marketing yourself, like the resume itself, that's marketing yourself, and interviews, that's selling yourself. It's marketing.
Mhm.
A quiz show, right? And the answer, I buzz in and I give them the answer and then I wait for the next one. And that's miserable. Of course, that would be terrible. But once I realized, oh, I have lots of people I can meet and learn from and learn about their experiences, and almost don't even treat it as an interview, just treat it as meeting someone new in your industry that you can talk to and learn from. And a lot of the nerves melted away. And that was like really crucial for me.
That's awesome. So 5 job offers, 4 of them came in the same week, right? Some people are like, what do you mean 4 job offers in 1 week or 5 job offers in a short period of time, right? The whole process was 5 weeks long. Correct me if I say anything that is wrong, okay? 5 weeks long. You only started applying
After 2 weeks.
after 2 weeks, right? Why? You were preparing your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your interview skills, your negotiation skills, your job application strategy on how to actually land these interviews. But the crazy thing about you, Daniel, is that you actually, so I don't want to say these things because I know them, but I want you to share because otherwise it seems too good to be true. How many jobs, if you remember, how many jobs did you apply to? The exact number. Do you remember?
I think it was 111 I applied to.
Wrong.
113.
Just like in a game show. It's close. 109. So
109, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
109 job applications, which how long did it take you to apply for these 109 jobs?
that was 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours.
Insane. So for anyone watching, they're like, what do you mean 2 hours? Yes, he literally sat down for 2 hours, one night, and he applied to 109 jobs, period. And then fast forward, let's not fast forward all the way until the end. We're going back and forth for those of you watching. We're all over the place here, but there are just so many details. The very next morning, what happened? You woke up. So you applied to these 109 jobs, right? And then the next morning, what happened?
Yeah, that was Sunday night. I woke up Monday. I had 8 interview requests in my inbox, and then I had a lot of LinkedIn messages actually for other opportunities, like recruiters reaching out to me. So at that point, like my time was spoken for, and that's how the 3-week whirlwind started, right? Where I was interviewing a lot for the next 3 weeks, and that's how all the offers kind of coalesce at the same time, because all the processes started roughly at the same time.
Amazing. Now tell me something, going way back. Before we met, had you been applying for jobs or you didn't even attempt to apply for jobs because you read the news, like the market was so messed up, or what was your experience before?
I was applying a lot. I applied for, I think, around 40 jobs. I ended up getting, I think, 4 interviews. All of them, I got, there was one phone screen, and then I didn't make it past the round. So I felt pretty stuck. Yeah.
Why, now looking back, why do you think that was? Because I mean, that was not long before we started working together. Something must have changed in the way that you communicated. I guess you gave yourself that freedom to and that shift of mindset to approach relationships differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me.
It sounds silly, right? But it's a complete mindset change to just, and like you said, Brian, you said you share openly how this happens. It all sounds like super common sense. So you think, okay, whatever, I could do this on my own, and you can, but very few people actually sit there and like follow their common sense thoughts. I'll tell you, like, the biggest change is just how I sounded in the first interview. And the way the fun anecdote I have is, my fiance at the time, now my wife, because you were at my wedding, my fiance was sitting in the kitchen, and I was with my door closed on the phone doing an interview. This is after we had talked. And she said, what was that? What was that call? I said, oh, it's an interview. She goes, that was an interview? I've never heard you sound so happy on a phone call before. And every other interview that you take, you always sound so scared and sad. So, like, literally, like, my my fiance in the other room could tell like night and day just how excited, the difference in how I was portraying myself, how I was excited to be there and happy to be there. I think, and those things, I mean, if you said, hey, Daniel, when you go into your next interview, I want you to be happy to be there. That's common. That might sound like common sense that everyone's like, yeah, obviously, but how many of you actually do that? Because I know I wasn't, which is my own fault. But once I realized, hey, like I should be happy to be here. This is exciting. And just letting that natural excitement show through. Like, I'm so happy to be talking to you. Like, this is awesome. I looked at this job opportunity. It's amazing. It aligns with my interests. I think I can add a lot of value. Like, how did you end up here? Like, what do you like about it? And that's how you start building like.
So to point out for those watching now or the replay later, I don't know if you noticed, it's very subtle, but Daniel also took control of the opportunity, of the experience. He created an experience for them, right? Like by asking questions, by showing genuine interest, curiosity, and wanting to build a meaningful relationship with the other person, he was able to create an experience for them, which in turn created an experience for himself, right? Yeah, agree?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to talk to a brick wall, right? No one wants to talk to a brick wall. And I realized I was a brick wall in every interview. I was just sitting there, and then, okay, if you say something, I respond, and then I just sit there waiting for you to ask me another question.
It feels like a traditional interview, for those of you watching, hopefully this resonates. Traditional interviews feels like this. They ask you a question, you answer. They ask you a question, you answer. They ask you a question, you answer. And then they ask you, do you have any questions for us? But if that's what your experience feels like, you're doomed to fail. Yeah, eventually you will end up getting a job offer, but you will never be able to stack up maybe 5 job offers like Daniel did, right? So you need to create an experience for them and then for yourself. So you need to take control. You need to find things in common. You need to make them feel comfortable so that they can make you feel comfortable. Anyway, there's a lot more to it. I always try to be very careful, Daniel, with the things that I share openly, because people might think, oh, so it's as simple as just going with the right mindset. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it starts with having the right mindset for sure. But there's so much more, right? You would agree? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of gloss over this, but I spent 2 weeks preparing before I made one application, right? And those 2 weeks was a lot. I spent a lot of my free time, learning, honing my negotiation skills, practicing interviews, updating my resume, updating my LinkedIn, actually doing soul searching of what do I actually want? What am I going to be looking for in my next role? So there was a lot of work that went into it before I started applying.
So, do you see? I started watching this, trying to grab a clip out of this lengthy conversation. It was only half an hour, but I just couldn't. It was like 20 minutes that I was like, I don't know where to cut it. Like everything is so rich, what he went through, his evolution, the opportunities, where he's at now. As I mentioned earlier, I went to his wedding and I spoke to all his friends and his family, and they were like, we've never seen Daniel so happy. And of course, he was getting married, but they were referring to the actual career, where he's at in his career now. He actually loves his job. He loves his boss. He loves his colleagues. He loves what he does. He wakes up excited. Like we've never seen, and like he was mentioning about his fiance, like I've never seen you so happy. You never sounded, or you always sounded so sad during interviews. Like it was a whole transformation, and it didn't take long. In 5 weeks, we were able to do this whole thing. And the first 2 weeks, he was really preparing for it. And then he just spent 3 weeks, like he said, just interviewing and receiving multiple job offers, 5 job offers, 4 of them in the same week. And then, of course, negotiating and obtaining his desired job conditions. Why? Because he was in the ultimate position of power, which brings me to tell you, over the last 8 months, we've been working to put this out there for others to be able to benefit from this, to understand in detail what it is that he went through and Dylan went through and 1,000+ other senior tech professionals have gone through to switch jobs with their desired job conditions. So I want to share here in just a moment. Give me 1 second. So If you go here, you will see exactly what they went through. Grab your spot. We're going to start with this next week. It's only 1 hour a day, 5 days. In 5 days, you will walk away with the ultimate position of power strategy so that you understand how to switch jobs. And if you ask yourself, is this going to work now? It's been working for the last 7 years and it will continue to work. I don't have a crystal ball when it's going to stop working, but since we have a pulse on what's happening in the market, because we're mentoring so many professionals at the same time, we keep on adjusting, tweaking what stops working. We know exactly what's working because we're mentoring so many people, so many professionals at the same time. So my recommendation is, if you have time, or a lot of people feel like they don't have time because they're so busy with work and this and that, they don't have any work-life balance. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you should actually join. Grab your spot, reserve your spot. There's only going to be 100 people. You may have seen how many people are following me on LinkedIn, more than 200,000, which I appreciate immensely. But we want to create it. We wanted to create an experience for you so that you can benefit from this, so that there's no noise, so that there are people who are actually committed to themselves, investing this time in themselves to be able to switch jobs fast. Again, Daniel did it in 5 weeks from beginning to end. So my recommendation to anyone who is feeling miserable in their jobs, if you feel stuck, if you feel undercompensated, if you feel underappreciated, if you are in a toxic work environment, if you have no work-life balance, if you don't have the right title, if you don't have the right challenge in front of you that is motivating you, if you're bored in your work, if you want to continue growing, if you want to make more money, to be able to do something, typically money is about not just for the sake of making money, more money, not from a greed place, but from wanting to provide to your family a better future. I was speaking to someone yesterday who needs to send his child with autism through, or he's in the spectrum, through college, university, and he's not in the best position. He's making a good chunk of money, more than $200,000, but that he doesn't feel that that's enough, and that is keeping him up at night. So, and he hasn't been sleeping well. And then I shared about Maria. We will have Maria here as well very soon to share her story. She also has a son, Lucas, with autism, and I love her family. I've met them in person, took them to the playground with my family. And it was amazing to hear from her, and she will share this herself, how she was finally able to sleep at night after she switched jobs and she had the right job conditions. Fully remote job, higher compensation, autonomy. She loves it, fulfillment, and so on and so forth. So my recommendation to all of you, if you're serious about your career, just go to switchjobsnow.com, read in detail, see if this is going to actually add value to you, and commit to showing up every single day next week for 1 hour, just 1 hour. Spend that or invest that hour in yourself, and you will see that you will start 2026 or finish 2025 and start 2026 with the career opportunity that you want and that you deserve. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope that you got great amounts of value from Daniel Devini. Amazing. I love this guy. So good. Such a great guy. And feel free to reach out. Send a DM or go to Switch Jobs Now, and I will see you on Monday here. Reserve your spot. We're capping it at 100 people just to provide an amazing experience for you. Okay. So I will see you very soon. Take care. Cheers. Have an amazing weekend.